And the Jeep leader hits the lineup now in that yellow jersey. Stephanie Gilmore up against Silvana Lima. The two veterans on the Women's Championship Tour in the lineup looking for a spot in the quarterfinals, along with Keely Andrew, who's really starting to gain some confidence at this level. Cracked the final at the first event of the season.
Think back to Bells Beach and the opportunity that Lakey had there, and she lost needing a 1.4, so that really separated those surfers on the top end.
Well, Silvana Lima deep in the barrel here and tucks in. No chance of an exit there.
Know how good she is. I think if that headspace is clicked on, she's going to be on fire on the backhand, and that's something that we'd love to see. Keely getting a nice little shack there, coming through the corner. Nice sweep off the top. Let's see if she finishes off on the inside here. Beautiful hit there and kicks out with confidence. So solid ride there for Keely.
Smartphone eclipse.
Yeah.
Well, here we go. Live action. Keely Andrew. A 5.17 on this wave. So this is the replay, excuse me.
Yep, and then, you know, Keely getting that 5.17, getting a bit of a solid start, finding some cover. Let's see if Steph can find one of these waves that we're seeing pop up.
Well, she's making a move. Covers quite a bit of ground to get to this one. Well positioned, drives down the line, around that barrel to get to this section. Nice big slice off the top. Holds onto that rail for an age and then hammers the foam section. So just two turns. But I think on the strength of that first turn, this should be pretty comparable to Keely's wave.
I love it. And then Stephanie Gilmore, watch the speed right off the takeoff. She knows she's got to get around this section and then just lays into that carve. Look how much spray is falling. And before it even hits the water, she's into her second turn. But watch the bottom turn, the time that she takes and the short arc. She really finds that moment of connection on that lip, that bit of steepness in the wall. Had she gone out even a fraction of a meter, she would have gone more lateral and then straight into that bottom turn. That wave fattens out. So what Steph did there was just stay in the critical section there with you. I mean, that first turn, that bottom turn, the speed that she carried in the bottom turn around that whitewater, we see Silvana having a sniff.
Silvana draws off the bottom, bashes that lip, maintains a down the line flow so she can fit in a couple more turns. Shallow through this inside. Pulls that board through a nice carve and then banks it up over the foam. So shallow just there. She just jumps off very carefully.
Yeah.
18.5 minutes to go, expecting some decent numbers here.
Saw two different styles of surfing as Silvana locks into this one, but just seeing her attack on the lip and also that forward projection that she gets so that she doesn't get too far behind it. So 3 turns done there, and then also finds the finish. So works through this wave, gets that completion. Good to see her read on this wave.
Well, back to live action, and Keely already has a 5.17, so in a good position here. Love that turn. Didn't sink the rail particularly deep because she was trying to set up that next move.
Keely just does so well to kind of stay in that critical section. She cuts right back so that she can get down and underneath it. Like I said, if you project too far onto the open face when the wave is going that flat, it's not going to offer you much. It's not going to give you that push back.
Well, that's Steph Gilmore up once again. Look at her second turns. Solid carve in the pocket. She's going to get out of this one. So she was only after a 1.11 to jump into second. Probably doesn't need much more than that. I think we'll see Steph certainly move up the order. It's just going to depend on where she is after this ride.
So Steph just getting that first maneuver in and going into the second like we've seen before. I would have liked to see maybe a bit more of a high impact maneuver on that first turn. There was opportunity there for her to just combo up those major maneuvers.
Well, big opportunity here for Silvana Lima to answer that last ride and maybe try and hang on to one of these second spots. Couple of solid turns to get started for the Brazilian. Have just loved the electricity she surfed with throughout this season. Just so sparky. Thought she surfed really well in the opening round here. I've really enjoyed it.
It's an exciting brand of surfing that Silvana's bringing. That low center of gravity holds that rail line. So again, that's difficult to do, to keep that rail engaged. But Silvana Lima also does it with a lot of flow, linking those maneuvers together. But it is exciting seeing her get to her feet, wondering what she's going to lay down for us. Another exchange under your belt and things shuffle in the order. So that's musical chairs right now.
And Silvana's going to keep busy here. Without priority, moves to the inside, picks this one off. Makes something of that first section and absolutely destroys the second pocket. Keely Andrews probably been on two of the best waves of this heat.
Well, Silvana, this turn just throwing that rail in that line of the wave, and then this one just unfortunately she almost has it, almost gets over a board.
Recovery mode for a moment there. Keely Andrews right behind her, tucks into the barrel. Seemed to be doing everything right for a moment there, but just didn't find her way through. With Keely in third place and only needing a 4.06, she's certainly a chance. And here she goes, moving down the line. She's got a big section here. Unfortunately, the sections are really hard to read out there at the moment. I think it's got a bit to do with the sun. I think it's also got a bit to do with the lower tide. Funny, they look so peaceful, and then someone like Lakey goes out there and just turns into an absolute animal and just lays down the biggest tracks that you ever see. But here we go, Silvana. Not particularly deep on that section. Tries to make up some points with the carve. Whips that tail.
Wow.
That's Steph Gilmore heading into the lineup then. It was like she had a 90 horsepower Mercury on the back of her board.
And this is what I was talking about. Silvana just not able to capitalize on the scoring potential of this wave. But yeah, it's good to see Steph kind of give it a bit of a go. Just get engaged.
And Stephanie Gilmore choosing this wave. Chase down the lead, looking for a 4.65, just 2 turns. Can she add more down the line? She does. A really nice sequence, trying to hang on to this move, but she gets a little caught in that side-winding whitewater across the shallow shelf. Doesn't ride out of that final manoeuvre, but did put together a couple of solid hits. 2.5 minutes to go. I don't think Keely Andrews is going to be out of this one with the scores coming through.
Silvana, well, Stephanie Gilmore, she's going to improve her situation with this wave. So big crack in the lip there. This wave has a bit of foam to contend with. But Stephanie Gilmore, she wanted to ride out of this last maneuver and just comes undone. So there's a few errors. There's a few things that these surfers can tighten up. Even Silvana Lima on that last wave. Looking at all of the score lines. Oh, Keely running out of time.
You never like to see that. A competitor just robbed of the opportunity to actually get that wave. But I think if you look back on the heat, Keely did have some quality waves that she didn't actually convert on. So she'll probably look at that as a lost opportunity. But Stephanie Gilmore looked really solid in that yellow jersey. Silvana Lima also through to the quarterfinals.